Okay, guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about combining integers or combining like terms with integers, excuse me. So first thing we need to do is look at the definition of the word integer. Now, integer is a whole number and their opposites. So an example of that will be +1, -1. The whole number is +1. The opposite is -1. They're both integers. Also, constant. Constant is a value that doesn't change. Coefficient, a number that is multiplied by a variable. So if we had 2x, 2 would be the constant and x would be the variable. So let's get started with our first. Our first example is -18x plus 9 minus 23. So because the name of this is combining like terms, that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to combine the first like terms, which is going to be -18x and -23x. So we're going to take -18x and subtract 23x, because when you're combining like terms, you want to take the sign of the term along with the coefficient. So -18x minus 23x is the same thing as saying -18x plus a -23x, which gives you -41x. So now we have to go up and get our lonely little 9 that we left by itself, and we're going to take the sign with that as well. So our answer is -41 plus 9. Now this is what's called an expression. Expressions do not have equal signs. Expressions also sometimes don't give you an answer for the variable. So in this case, x is a part of our answer. We don't know what x is, but our answer in simplified version is -41x plus 9. Okay, our next example, this is a big one. But remember that difficulty and length are not the same thing. Just because it's going to take you a long time to do it doesn't mean it's actually difficult. This is actually pretty easy. So first thing we're going to do is find out which terms we need to combine. And a lot of times you'll see this happening by us putting different shapes on the term. So we're going to make our x squared terms squares, excuse me. I couldn't say x squared twice. So then we're going to have this -23x squared. Those are going to be our like terms for that. And what makes them like terms is the x, which is our variable, and the exponent, which is 2. Because then we have our 2x squared, our 2x, and 2x is not a like term of x squared, which is why we're going to put circles around those. But the -15x is a like term of the 2x. And then our -12 here is going to be a term all by itself. So it's going to have another shape. So now we're going to combine our like terms. So we're going to combine our 15x squared along with our -23x squared. So then you're going to have 15x squared minus 23x squared. Now 15 minus 23 equals -8. So we're going to have -8x squared. Next thing we're going to do is combine our 2x with our 15x. And so we're going to have +2x minus 15x. And +2x minus 15x is going to give us what? -13x. So now we have -x squared minus 13x. And then we have our lonely little -12 up here, and we're going to add it on the end. So this is our final answer. We're going to have for our final answer -8x squared minus 13x minus 12. On to our next example. Our next example is 4. Then we have in parentheses 2e plus 7 minus 25e. Now, when you have a number on the outside of parentheses, it's that magical word that starts with a D. You're going to distribute. So we're going to take our 4 and distribute it to the 2e and to the 7. So we're going to have 4 times 2e, which is going to give us 8e, and 4 times 7, which is going to give us +28. And then we're just going to bring down the rest of our problem. So then we have minus 25e. So now it's time for us to combine the like terms. What are our like terms? I'm glad you asked. Our like terms are 8e and negative 25e. So we'll have 8e minus 25e. And 8 minus 25 is going to give us negative 17e. And what do we have left? Our positive 28. So our final answer is negative 17e plus 28. All right, so for our final example, we're going to have 7 on the outside of parentheses, z, as in zebra, squared plus 2, minus 14z squared minus 14. So we're going to use that magical word again, distribute, and we're going to take the 7, distribute it to our z squared and to our 2. So we're going to have 7 times z squared, which is 7z squared, because when you have a variable with a coefficient that's not written, the coefficient is a 1. Then we're going to have 7 times 2, which is positive 14, minus 14, z squared minus 14. Where did the minus 14z squared minus 14 come from? The top of the problem. All I did was rewrite it over in the new equation, or expression, excuse me, because there's no equal sign. So now what we're going to do is combine our like terms. So what are our like terms in this one? We have 7z squared and negative 14z squared. So we're going to have 7z squared minus 14z squared. And 7z squared minus 14z squared is negative 7z squared. And then we're going to have plus 14 minus 14. Now what's positive 14 minus negative 14? That's going to give you a 0. So our final answer is going to be negative 7z squared. All right, I hope this helps, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them on the blog. You can look at the blog address right up top, and you went to the blog to get this. So all you have to do is click on the combining like terms with integers portion, and you will get a little box that you write in. And you just write in there and I'll respond back to you. I hope this video helps. See you later, guys.